UFC 327, I got a pick and a prediction for every single fight on the card in less than 2 minutes. This is the Quick Picks video. How we doing, everybody? My name's Young Pasty, aka the White Boy Wonder. And you heard right, a pick, a prediction, every single fight, less than 2 minutes, no fluff, no BS, straight to the point. When that timer hits 0, we stop and we move on to the next fight, okay? Now, as we always do around here, we have to recap last week. All right? UFC Vegas 115, pulling the results up here. And awful week, guys. 5-7 on the picks. I didn't pick that Kai Kamaka and Dakota Hope fight, so I'm not going to include it in here. But look, guys, I had a lot of bad reads, and I was wrong. And I can admit that. All right? I can admit that. I'm not perfect every week. We have the highs. We had the lows every single week of UFC. So unfortunately, last week was a low. I put too much faith in my boy Chris Duncan. That one really killed me on the pick and the bets. Jandaroba. I picked her initially, flipped to Tabitha Ritchie. And why did I do that? I mean, Jandaroba is obviously the better grappler. I had too much faith in Ritchie's takedown defense. The Bakoya fight really screwed me. And I'll tell you this, guys. I initially picked Darius Flowers by KO and Thomas Peterson by decision. I did. And then I freaking flipped on fight day to the other side. So what I learned here from this week is quit flipping, Young Pacey, okay? Go with your freaking gut. Go with your initial thoughts. Yeah, you know, it sucked last week, but it's not like this every week, guys. All right? It's not like this every week. And I'm man enough to come on here on video in front of the whole world and admit I was wrong and I had a bad week, all right? But we move on, all right? Get that crap out of here. We're moving on to a numbered event now, okay? UFC 327. I'm stoked for this, guys. This card is banging, all right? I'm looking through here, and I didn't have to look up anybody, all right? There's no new faces. These guys have all fought before. Man, I'm excited for all of these matchups, all right? So let's get to it, guys, all right? Like I said, a pick and a prediction for every single fight on the card in less than 2 minutes. We're going to start off with our main event here. We have Carlos Ulberg. Well, actually, Jiri Prochazka taking on Carlos Ulberg for the vacant light heavyweight championship. Your boy Poatan vacated it to move up to heavyweight. We'll see him at the White House card, beating Cyril Gane. I'll tell you right now, I'm picking Alex Pereira for that fight. But odds in the fight here for the Jiri and Carlos fight. We have -118 for Jiri and -102 for Carlos Ulberg. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, guys. This was tough for me to pick because I like Carlos Ulberg. I'm a big fan of Carlos Ulberg. I'm picking Jiri, guys. I'm picking Jiri Prochazka. There's something different about this guy, right? He's not the most technical striker. He'll eat a lot of shots. He'll do the most kind of like unorthodox, weird stuff in the octagon. You see his training tactics. They're insane, right? He could be losing 90% of the fight, but he finds that killer switch. He goes into Jiri mode. Yeah, Jiri mode. Okay, once he goes into Jiri mode, it's wraps, right? He takes over the fight. Now, on the flip side, guys, it could be quite easy for Carlos Ulberg to flatline Jiri with a counter shot. It could, man. Jiri comes in too recklessly. And Ulberg has some serious power. Now, Jiri's 2 KO losses, right? They're to Poatan, Alex Pereira, a kickboxer, a technical striker, okay? His KO losses came from technical striking. What is Ulberg? A technical striker. And I told you guys, I'm an Ulberg fan, all right? Look at this. I got the Carlos Ulberg signed card, all right? I am a fan of Carlos Ulberg here, but the reason I picked Jiri, this is a 5-round fight. He's got more time to work with. If this was a 3-round fight, I'm telling you right now, I'd be picking Ulberg. But the fact that this is a 5-round fight, I have to side with Jiri, right? Like in a 3-round fight, right? Ulberg's probably going to win round 1, round 2, dicey round 3, where he's kind of maybe running away from Jiri, basically. But we got a 5-round fight on our hands here, guys. So, do we remember the Glover Teixeira fight? Do we remember the Khalil Roundtree fight? Guys, Jiri Prochazka is somebody that you can't bet against. I am picking Jiri Prochazka by KO over Carlos Ulberg. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. Moving on to our co-main event of the evening, we got Azamat Murzakanov taking on Paulo Costa. Odds on the fight here, minus 198 for Murzakanov, plus 164 for Costa. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, guys. I'm picking Azamat Murzakanov. I mean, I cannot deny the success of this guy. And he really don't need a KO to win the fight. He can win on the scorecards too. Now, my main concern with the fight is that Costa's just putting out tons of volume, making it look like Murzakanov's losing. And Murzakanov, you got to check those leg kicks of Costa, because Costa's going to throw 300 leg kicks, right? But this is a light heavyweight fight, all right? Costa isn't fighting light heavyweight guys. The only time he had a light heavyweight fight, Marvin Vettori, main event, does some ridiculous shit, guys. Comes over like 30 pounds overweight. What the hell is that? All right? So this is his first fight moving up to Paulo Costa. So, like, they're not giving him an easy task moving to different weight classes with Murzakanov here rising and surging, dude. So it should be a stand-and-man kind of fight. I don't see any wrestling or grappling involved. Maybe some cage push from both of the fighters. Murzakanov's explosive, man. He's more powerful. He's disciplined. And he's an actual light heavyweight, all right? He has to cut down to light heavyweight. I'm sure Paulo Costa may have to do a little bit of that. But, I mean, the builds are completely different, right? I just don't think this is a good move for Paulo Costa. What are we doing here? Is the UFC telling you to move up because you can't make weight? 185? I don't know. Costa's durable. He can take a punch. I see some maybe wobbles or knockdowns from Murzakanov onto Costa, but I don't see a full-blown KO per se. So I am going to take Azamat Murzakanov. I'm going to take him by decision. And that is my official pick for the co-main event. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight, we have Curtis Blaydes taking on Josh Hokit. Odds on the fight, we have minus 142 for Curtis Blaydes, plus 120 for Josh Hokit. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, guys, I'm picking Curtis Blaydes. All right, I'm siding with experience. But. I mean, this Josh Hokit guy, he's scary, man. And he reminds me a lot of Tom Aspinall. And we saw what Tom Aspinall did to Curtis Blaydes in a real fight and not from a freak injury, right? So it really isn't out of the realm of possibilities that Hokit could chin Blaydes. Okay, I'm aware of that, right? Hokit's an athlete. He's a weird guy. He's a weird guy, but he's an athlete, man. But Blaydes just beat Rizvan Kuniev with injuries, with fouls against him. Blaydes is a Chicago guy. Blaydes is a Chicago Bears fan. You don't see that up there? All right? You think I'm going to pick against a fellow Bears fan? Hell no. But all bias aside, though, I am still siding with Curtis Blaydes here, man. He has more experience. He's fought better people than Josh Hokit. This is a too soon, too quick, too fast kind of thing for Josh Hokit. So Hokit seems to be tough. Seems like he can take a punch. I don't think Curtis Blaydes is going to be laying him out. I'm going to be taking Curtis Blaydes by decision, but I think a good look here is those alt double chances where you get a method of victory on one fighter and the other fighter. So a Blaydes decision / Hokit KO, I think that may be something worth looking at if the price isn't too crazy. You know what I mean? So I know Hokit can wrestle. I know Hokit can get takedowns. But like Curtis Blaydes can do all that stuff too. His win over Rizvan with injuries and fouls, I think is super impressive because we just saw what Rizvan did here in the last fight, right? So I got to side with Curtis Blaydes. I got to side with the Chicago guy, all right? Shout out my Chicago Bears. But Curtis Blaydes, by decision, that's my official pick. Let's go. Next fight on the main card, we got Dominic Reyes taking on Johnny Walker. Odds on the fight, minus 135 for Reyes and plus 114 for Walker. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, guys. I'm rolling with Dominic Reyes. I'm rolling with Dominic Reyes, and I am aware that he just got brutally KO'd by our boy, Carlos Ulberg. Okay, but I just feel like Johnny Walker's not up to the level of Dominic Reyes, man. You run through Walker's UFC career, it's not really that impressive, right? But compared to Reyes' career, like, man, it does not stack up to the level of competition he's fought. Let's just be real, okay? I think Reyes is more slick on the feet. I think Reyes can avoid any grappling or submission threats. I think we're going to see a Johnny Walker custom emoji KO once again. You see, when this guy gets KO'd, he just does, he makes weird faces. His body's freaking going all sorts of places, right? I see a straight right down the middle from Dominic Reyes, and Johnny Walker is just going to crumble and fall. Now, Reyes has got to watch the leg kicks, but I think that he can do that with his move. Like in his previous fights, he's not really getting chopped up by by leg kicks too much. So I like Reyes by KO, probably in the second round, or maybe I don't know. He's been getting a lot of first round freaking finishes too. So the resurgence of Dominic Reyes, yeah, he got brutally KO'd by Ulberg, but guess what? Ulberg fighting for the title here. Okay, he's fighting for the title. Can't give him too much grief for that. He had 3 straight wins, and he looked pretty impressive, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I doubted him in most of them. So. But at the end of the day, Reyes by KO is my official pick. Johnny Walker, custom emoji, getting knocked out. And we'll post it here next week. So Reyes, KO, let's go. Moving on to our next fight, the main card opener. We got 42-year-old Cub Swanson taking on 37-year-old Nate Landwehr. Odds on the fight, plus 102. For Cub Swanson, minus 125 for Nate Landwehr. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, guys. I am picking Cub Swanson. I know Cub is 42 years old. I know Cub is 42 years old. Man, I just trust his fighter IQ way more than Nate, dude. Cub's running his own gym. Cub is coaching fighters here consistently. We just saw him coach Danny Silva getting that second round KO over there in London a few weeks ago. All right, this dude lives and breathes fighting. And I'm not saying Nate's not motivated or he's not living and breathing fighting, but man, he just makes some stupid decisions in the octagon sometimes, okay? He's super hittable. Cub has great movement and footwork. I'm not a fan of the low hands really with anybody, but he makes it work, right? This is Cub's retirement fight too. I want to make this clear. This is Cub Swanson's retirement fight. And, they say there's no happy endings in the UFC, right? But, I mean, we've seen it a couple times this year. Michael Chiesa, Eric Anders. By the way, I picked both of them. Anders was an underdog, too. It can happen. It can happen, okay? We can have a happy ending. Not the massage kind. But, man, Nate's too hittable, dude. He's been knocked out a lot recently. He lacks fighter IQ. I'd say Nate probably has a power advantage. And you can never really doubt the power, and you can't doubt the grit of Nate the Train. Okay, we've seen him in some wars, seen him come back and end up finishing fights. So, he may be, he might look like he's losing the whole fight, but don't count him out, man. He can come out and pull something out of his butt and end up getting the win. So, I'm leaning Cub decision, maybe even a KO. I mean, he knocked out Billy Quarantillo. He could do it again. Cub Swanson KO to end his career. That's my official pick. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight, we got the battle of the Bellator alum. Patricio Pitbull taking on Aaron Pico. Odds in the fight here are a little wide in my opinion. We got Pitbull at plus 270. Aaron Pico at minus 340. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, guys. I'm taking Aaron Pico, man. I'm giving him another chance after his brutal KO loss to Lerone Murphy. I picked Lerone Murphy, by the way. Shit was nasty. He got caught, right? Spinning back elbow. Yeah, and it was bad. But I'll tell you this. He gave himself adequate time to recover from this KO, man. You see people come back 2, 3, 4 months after a brutal KO like that, and it happens again. It's just not good for your body. 8 months, okay? It's not like a 3 to 5 month turnaround here. 8 months after that last KO. So he's giving himself some good time, right? Now, I've watched film on both of these guys, but I'm not no Bellator expert, okay? So go on easy on me here a little bit. I think Pitbull is going to deter to wrestling pretty quickly after a couple of striking exchanges with Pico. He's going to realize, oh man, this This guy's got power. I can't be sitting here standing and banging with him. I'm going to go wrestle, right? I don't think the odds are justified. Man, I think people are doubting Pitbull. I'm not saying Pitbull is going to win the fight. I'm siding with Pico for right now, but man, that plus 270 tag on Pitbull is just kind of staring me in the eye, dude. Maybe even a plus 3.5 if he can make it. He could probably win one of the later rounds over Pico. So Aaron Pico don't go to decision too much. Okay, a lot of his fights end up in finish. Either him or somebody else. Pitbull, kind of the same thing, but we've seen him go to decision here recently in the UFC. So Aaron Pico, by decision, is my pick right now, my slight lean. If I do make any pick changes, by the way, they end up on the Twitter, the Instagram, the Patreon, and the YouTube pin comments, so you know if I flip on a pick. Pico by decision is what I'm rolling with now. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight, we got Kevin Holland taking on Randy Brown. Odds on the fight, what are they? Plus 102 for Kevin Holland, minus 122 for Randy Brown. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, I'm picking Randy Brown. Come here, rude boy. Come here, rude boy. Come and give it up. Fuck Kevin Holland, dude. This dude's inconsistent as shit. He's about to take 3 L's in a row for the first time in his career, guys. Holland's a streaky guy. Okay, look at his fight history. Since 2021, look at it. He'll lose 2 fights, win 1. Lose 2 fights, win 1. Rinse and repeat. Randy Brown never lost 2 fights in a row. And he won't here, okay? So someone's going to have it first, right? Either losing 2 in a row or 3 in a row. And it's going to be Holland losing 3 in a row here, man. These guys have similar builds, right? Holland has a slight reach advantage, no really like physical disadvantages for either fighter, really, man. I just can't trust Kevin Holland, dude. His fighter IQ sucks. Brown is fighting way better competition. Holland may be faster with the strikes, right? But Brown hits harder, bro. Holland has grappling and submissions he can implement, but I don't think he's going to be taking Randy Brown down. It's not like he's some... I don't know, man. If he realizes he can't strike with him, he might try. He did it with D-Rod. Couldn't do anything with it. Randy Brown's a pure striker, man. But like, Kevin Holland lost to D-Rod, for gosh sakes. Randy Brown smokes D-Rod. I'm taking Randy Brown. I'm taking him by decision. The grappling and submission threat is there. Randy Brown could get subbed up by Kevin Holland if it ends up on the mat. But something tells me it's not going to go that way. Man, now I'm sitting here second guessing. I'm like, Kevin Holland could get a freaking submission. But he also couldn't. Man, I can't do it. Randy Brown, by decision. Fuck Kevin Holland. That's my pick. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight, we got Mateusz Gamrot taking on Esteban Ribovics. Odds in the fight, minus 180 for Gamrot, plus 150 for Ribovics. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for the fight, I am rolling with Mateusz Gamrot. Man, I do not see a world where Gamrot doesn't get a takedown in this fight, okay? The only thing I'm really concerned about here, round 3. Gamrot tends to gas. He's getting older, man. He's definitely fought the better competition. I don't think he's a takedown or bust, but I'll say this. If you're going to sit there and stand and bang with Ribovics for extended periods of time, probably not a good idea, right? And I like Ribovics, dude. He's a dog. I bet him and picked him in the past, but they're setting him up for failure here, man. They're trying to jump him up real quick in the rankings. Like, Gamrot's ranked 8th in lightweight, guys. He's ranked 8th. You think Ribovics wins and skips all of these people to get the 8th? I can't see it, man. There's so many people from 9 to 15 that could whoop Ribovics' ass. So I don't think so. Give me Gamrot. Give me him by decision. He's not a takedown or bust, but he's not going to do well on the feet. Ribovics, look, dog, fighter, powerful, never gives up on himself. But when you're laying on your back for 3 rounds, not much you can do. And that's what I can't anticipate in this fight. Mateusz Gamrot by decision. That's my official pick. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight here. It is ladies fight. Actually, the only ladies fight on this card. We got Tatiana Suarez taking on Luque Godinez. Odds in the fight, minus 155 for Tatiana. Plus 130 for Luque. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight is Tatiana Suarez, and this was a pretty easy one for me to come to, man. I believe the wrestling, takedowns, grappling, it's gonna be enough for her to win the fight, man. Like this is a clear takedown or bust for Suarez, dude. She's not gonna win a striking match with Luque. She won't. Her striking is not awful, but it's not good. Lupe's definitely the better striker. Lupe's more well-rounded, and Suarez really relies on the wrestling and the grappling. So if she can stuff the takedowns and avoid them all, hey, she's going to be golden. She's going to be looking like the dog of the week. But, guys, this is not a boxing match. It's not a striking match. This is an MMA fight. Tatiana Suarez is going to handle business here. She's going to handle business just like she did with Amanda Lemos. Suarez by decision. I don't have to speak on it too much here, dude. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight, we got Markel Mederos taking on Chris Padilla. Odds in the fight, we got plus 150 for Mederos, minus 180 for Padilla. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, guys, I am rolling with Taco Padilla. It's hard to bet against my boy Taco Padilla. He's a slow starter. I'll give him that. He's a slow starter. He might drop the first round. That's not too much to, really kind of worry about, though. We see other people in the UFC that are slow starters that end up winning the fight a lot of the time. Peter Yan, Josh Van kind of starts out a little bit slow. Man, even Ethan Ewing in that last fight wasn't coming out guns blazing, you know what I mean? So don't get too emotional or freaking out if you're seeing Padilla kind of low volume in the first round, right? He's making reads, he's figuring things out, he's being patient. Mederos, this guy dances around the octagon, right? In and out with his shots. That's what he likes to do. He's usually not the pressuring fighter. And Taco's a freaking hawk, man. He's hunting you down. He's constantly on the floor pressure. He's pretty dang good at cutting the corners off, too. I feel like it's probably going to be a constant chase for Padilla, if I'm being honest with myself. And usually, if you got a fighter chasing the other fighter, they're losing, But Taco's a dog. He's got more dog in him than Mederos, okay? And I've seen Mederos cracked a couple times. After dancing around the octagon so much in and out with your shots, he's going to be getting tired, huffing and puffing. Taco, round 2, round 3 KO, very, very live, all right? And man, the cage push by Chris Padilla is really good. The Muay Thai from Chris Padilla is really good. So I'm a fan. I like him. I think he's going to take this. I don't like how he's begging for a bonus last time. They didn't give it to him. I know Dana don't like that. He probably did deserve the bonus more than other people. But I hope he gets another one here, man. I hope he gets the finish, and I hope they reward him with a performance bonus, man. You deserve it. So I'm taking Taco Padilla. I'm taking him by decision. KO is live in the second or third round, the later rounds. But that's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight, we got Kelvin Gastelum taking on Vicente Luque. Odds in the fight here, we got minus 250 for Gastelum, plus 205 for Luque. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, I gotta pick Kelvin Gastelum here, man. Vicente Luque he's falling off hard, dude. He's falling off hard. Kelvin's a decent striker. Luque can strike too. He likes to mix in wrestling and grappling. He has some good submissions in the past, but man, good luck, Luque. You're not getting this freaking blob down. And Gastelum's takedown defense ain't too bad. I know, even though Gastelum's been subbed in the past, I'm not banking on a Luque sub whatsoever. If you put this fight in the past, 5 to 6 years ago, this is a certified banger. But it's 2026 right now. Luque is a shell of what he once was. Kelvin has enough striking ability to win this. He's gotten kind of bigger and fatter over the years. Not really taking things too seriously. But he still wins somehow, some way, usually. Especially over people like this. So I'm going to take Kelvin. I'll take him by decision. Man, look, Luque's chin gone. So if he KO Luque, that wouldn't surprise me either. I don't think I'm prop hunting on this type of a fight here. But at the end of the day, I think Kelvin will get it done by decision. So Kelvin Gastelum by decision is my official pick for this fight. Let's go. Moving on to the last fight of the video, but the first fight of the night, we got Charles Radtke taking on Francisco Prado. Odds in the fight here, minus 185 for Radtke and plus 154 for Prado. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. My pick for this fight, guys, I am rolling with Charles Radtke. Chuck Buffalo. All right, I mean, I can't trust Prado, guys. I cannot trust Prado unless he's made some vast improvements here. I think Radtke's pretty live to win this. Francisco Prado's young. I know he has time to improve, etc., all that. But, like, I feel like this is a spot where he loses, gets kicked out of the UFC, might come back in a few years, all right? He's been outclassed in spots. His fighter IQ is not the best. He lost to Nikolay Veretennikov, bro. Like, is that enough said? He likes to brawl and has power, but in my opinion, that's about it, man. Chuck Buffalo, much more well-rounded fighter, a lot more experience, actually has some decent wins in the UFC. Really, my only fear is him getting chinned because there's a 12-year age difference between these guys. 35, Radtke, 23, Prado. I know Radtke lost him a lot in Protez, but, I mean, are those losses to give him too much grief for? At the level that he's at in the stage in his career? You know what I mean? Man, Chuck Buffalo could even win this by submission, guys. He could even take down Francisco Prado and wrap up a neck, grab an armbar. I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking in my head, how does Francisco Prado win this fight, man? I can't see him winning a decision. I definitely don't see him getting it by submission. And then, I mean, like, possibly a KO, a lucky punch, because he does got some power, right? But I just don't really think that's live, man. I'm hoping Radtke uses his grappling to his advantage, gets some takedowns, schools him and classes him and outclasses him in the striking. I just think he's much better than Prado, guys. So I'm taking Charles Radtke, and I'm taking him by submission. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, guys. A prediction for every single fight on the card in less than 2 minutes, as promised. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Appreciate your support. If you could, click that subscribe button for me. We are on the road to 400 subscribers. I am 16 away, okay? So I just need 16 of y'all to click that button for me, and we're there. Secondly, check out the Patreon, guys. My Patreon's free. The link is in the description. That's where you can see all my bets when I place them. Okay, when I place the bet, I go and post it on the Patreon. That's when I do that so you guys can get the odds when they're good. Okay, the odds always sway in the opposite way. I'm always ahead of the odds usually, right? There's a couple of times where, you know, like Chris Duncan, for example, definitely wasn't ahead of the line, and it didn't matter anyway because he lost. But what I'm saying here is you got to get your bets in early in the week. That way you're locked in at good odds. So follow the Patreon. It's free. You can see all my bets when I place them. You get notified. All that fun stuff. Let's have a good week this week for UFC 327. Let's get that nasty UFC Vegas 115 Apex card out of my mouth. Gosh, it's disgusting. And have a good week this week, all right? Young Pasty, whitest in the fucking land. Out. Let's go.